Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would show you this recipe. It's called Tinga de pollo, and what you'll need is 1 onion, 7 tomatoes, salt, garlic clove. I like to use the Cook Tinga chipotle sauce. You can find this at your local Walmart line. Also vegetable oil and chicken breast. So let's get started. I also wanted to note out that it's better if you have purple onion. I did not have any, so I used a white onion instead. That's just what I had at hand. So you want to start off by preheating your stove. I like to use the setting 8 or high, and then you just wait for the water to boil. Meanwhile, you can wash your chicken. That's what I'm going to do here. Next, I like to separate the chicken from the rest of the ingredients. So I'm just going to put that aside. Then we're going to go with the tomatoes, and I'm just going to dice them. They don't have to be perfectly diced. They just need to be some, not too small, about medium diced. And yeah. So you dice your tomatoes, and you also want to dice about 1/4 of an onion, and just add that to the boiling water once you start adding your chicken. I did not show you how I diced it, but that's all you do. And you also want to add about maybe I would say 4 or 5 pinches of salt, and you just let that boil for 20 minutes. This is a perfect time to dice your garlic. As I'm showing here, I'll show you the sizes. They don't have to be perfect, and if you haven't done so, also the onion. The next step is to shred your chicken. So you can let it cool down, or you can use a fork and shred it, because it will be too hot once you take it off the stove. If you're wanting to shred it with a fork, you have to use a fork and a knife. If not, when it cools down, you can just go through it with your fingers. And there's a part of the chicken that I do not like. I'll show you in a bit. It's just like a rubbery part. I'm not sure what they call it, but I just like to go through my chicken and look for that. This is what I was talking about, you guys. So yeah, once I have all that sorted out and shredded, then is to the second part. So you want to preheat your stovetop to an 8 and throw in the vegetable oil, because we're going to fry that. So you want to have your onions and your tomatoes and your garlic and the chicken all on the side, so you have it ready once it starts to heat. So for you guys who are new to cooking or don't know, so to know when it's ready to throw in the onions and everything else, I like to do a small piece of onion and I'll just drop it. If it starts to sizzle, that means it's ready. If not, then I'll just wait to hear the sound. So that's what I'm doing here, and it wasn't ready, so I just waited about 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and then I started to hear the sound, so that's when it's ready. So I started to throw in the onions first, and I just want to saute those to about when they start to look a little bit clear. I throw in the garlic as well. If you start to see that the onions start to, instead of getting a little white, they start to burn, you do want to turn the stove down a little bit and just start to move it around so they won't burn on one side and on one another. And yeah, just saute that for about maybe 2 minutes, and then you'll start to notice when they start to get clear. Then you would throw in the diced tomatoes. So here I just noticed that the onions were getting clear, so now I threw in the diced tomatoes. So I'm just going to saute that for another about 4 minutes or 3. Once I start to see the tomatoes get more mushy, that's when I'll throw in the sauce. And you can add salt as well to this to give it more taste. Just remember that once you do throw in the chicken, to taste it. So you can throw in the salt here, or you can wait till you do the chicken just so that you can taste it and know how much. So I did about 4 to 5 pinches of salt, and then when I throw in the chicken, that's when I like to taste it and see if I need more salt. But if this is your first time doing it, I recommend you to do it after you throw in the chicken, just so that you can taste it and see what's better for you or how much salt you would prefer. A quick tip is to press down with your spatula so that the tomatoes can cook faster and it becomes more of a sauce, which is what we want. So once that the tomatoes are cooked, you want to throw in your chicken, and you just try to throw it in the center, and then you want to mix it with your spatula as much as you can, and just let it sit there for about maybe 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, just to let the flavor sink in into the chicken. So if you haven't done so, added your salt, you can do this at this time and taste it. If you did add your salt when you were frying when you were sauteing the tomatoes, then you want to taste it to see if you need more salt. So here's where you add your chipotle sauce once you let that sink in about 1 or 2 minutes. So you want to add a little bit, don't add all of it because it will come out very spicy. You want to do more than half. So I'll show you in a bit how much I threw in there. And this is to where I think it's like mild, it's not too spicy. But if you do want it more heavy or more spicy, you can add a little bit more, but I do advise you to taste it first so that you can see what you can tolerate. So once you start to mix it all in together and you start to notice the smell that starts to come out of the chipotle sauce and the chicken, and it smells really good, guys, I promise. So that's it, guys, it's done, but I do like to taste it before I serve it, and I noticed that it needed a little bit more salt, which I did add. So that's why it's good to taste it as you go along, and after you finished, you can also give it another taste just to be sure that you need or don't need more ingredients. So I'm going to turn off my stove, and I'm going to show you guys how much chipotle sauce I used. I used more than half, but of course if you guys want to add more, you can. Just go and taste it as you start pouring it, because it can get spicy with just a little bit. So that's it for the chicken. You can eat it with tostadas. That's what most people eat it with. And you find these at your local Walmart or Food Lion or Piggly Wiggly. And you want to find one that isn't broken, and then you just lay it down. And if you like beans, you can add beans, fried beans, to this first, and then you add your chicken. If not, you can just go ahead and just add the chicken to the tostada. I'm going to show you here quickly how I prepare them. And if you have sour cream, you can add some sour cream if you like, with lettuce, and also with cheese. Now the cheese that we use, or that I like to use, is Mexican cheese. It's called Fresco. Now you can find this in Walmart or your Food Lion. And Piggly Wiggly sells it as well, I think. And if you have a sauce, you can throw that in as well. So I'm not an expert with cutting lettuce, but this is just how I cut it. I just fold it up into like a small burrito, and then I cut it sideways, and then I turn it around and I cut it again, and that's just how I dice it. So you can use this cream. You can find this at Walmart or Food Lion or Piggly Wiggly, or you can just use regular sour cream. So this is the cheese that I was talking about. You can find this at your local Walmart or Piggly Wiggly. And if you do have a cheese shredder, you can use that, or just use your fingers, cut a piece, and then just shred it with your fingers. So this is it, you guys, and thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will be doing more cooking videos and everything that I do in my daily life routine. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys like my new friends. I will be showing them a lot during my cooking videos. I thought they were just cute. Well, that's it, folks. Bye.